everybody, and welcome back to NJ Fire Guys. This is run number 1 of the year 2025. I hope everybody had a great holiday season and is starting off the year in a healthy, happy manner. We have a very special episode tonight. We've entitled Empty Sky, Empty Promises. This show is going to be dedicated to addressing the issues and questions that are currently surrounding Empty Sky Memorial, which is the official New Jersey memorial to the 9/11 residents lost in 9/11. To tell us about this and bring us up to speed on what's going on with this project, we'll bring back Chief Butch Cobb, retired from Jersey City. We're going to welcome back to NJ Fire Guy podcast tonight. We have Deputy Chief retired Robert Butch Cobb, a true icon in the American Fire Service. Chief Cobb, his career spans decades of distinguished service, beginning when he enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1967 and his deployment to Vietnam, where he earned the prestigious U.S. Army Air Medal for his contributions in aerial combat operations. Over the years, Chief Cobb has served both as a volunteer and a career firefighter, rising through the ranks to become Deputy Chief of Department of the Jersey City Fire Department, where he played a pivotal role, including Chief of Operations and Chief of Training. Notably, was dispatched to the World Trade Center on 9/11, where he assisted the FDNY Incident Command Team in one of the darkest days in American history. After retiring from the Jersey City Fire Department in 2008, Chief Cobb continued to impact the fire service as the Director of Community Hazard Mitigation for the Insurance Service Office, known as ISO. Tonight, Chief Cobb joins us to discuss Empty Sky Memorial, New Jersey, as I said, New Jersey's official tribute to those lost in 9/11, including the 700 and some New Jersey residents. Without further ado, I'd like to bring back to the show Chief Butch Cobb. Hey, Chief, how are you tonight?
I'm doing very well, Nick. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I know it's kind of off the normal trail of firefighting, guys that you have on, but I really appreciate this, and hopefully everybody out there will learn something that's going to shock you about New Jersey's 9/11 Memorial, Liberty State Park in Jersey City. So, before we get started, Nick, if it's okay, I just like to thank a couple people before I delve into this.
Okay. Absolutely, please.
Yeah, I started finding out about this through a wonderful young lady I met at the IFF, New Jersey IFF conference in Atlantic City, and I'm going to talk about her a little bit later. But I was shocked at what she was saying. She was one of the speakers there, and I was shocked when she told me that the official New Jersey 9/11 memorial that got dedicated in 2011, in 2024, and now into 2025, was never completed. And I couldn't believe it. I sat down and talked with her for a little while. She's been battling this for years. And what she's doing, her battle is not just for her and the fact that she designed this wonderful memorial, but her battle is for us, for every first responder that's out there. You owe something to Jessica Jamrose, and you could Google her name if you want. She's known worldwide for some of the things that she helped develop. So I want to thank her first, but secondly. I started out with no help. I called every senator and congressman and that I could think of in New Jersey and councilman. And for the most part, I just want to thank just a few people who actually did something, wrote to the DEP, wrote to the governor. And I just want to thank them because there were so many people that just got back to me and said, hey, thanks. We'll look into it. Never did, but
take it under advisement.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. They didn't want to get involved. It's unbelievable that something so important to every first responder in New Jersey was left in disarray and just not completed. So just real quickly, first and foremost, New Jersey Senator Brian Stack, he's also the mayor of Union City. I sent him an email, and he got my number. And he called me back right away, and we had a chat, and I explained to him what was going on. And he took that and went right to the DEP, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and really is pushing to find out what happened and everything around the fact that this is an incomplete memorial. So again, thank Senator Brian Stack. A couple other people, Assemblyman William Sampson, who's the deputy speaker in the 31st district. He reached out to several government agencies for me, along with Jersey City council members at large, Daniel Rivera, Councilman Denise Ridley, Councilman James Solomon, and even former Governor James McGreevy, who now works on the staff at Jersey City for the mayor. It's just, these people at least made an attempt. Everybody else, and I'm not going to get into name calling. I'm not going to name the people who just kind of blew me off. But anyway, so really the gist of the program is we have this wonderful plan that was developed by Jessica and her partner, who I'll get to the names and everything a little bit, but what they did was there was a competition, and that's what it's supposed to look like. It does not look like that anymore, believe me. So there was a competition. I think there were 320 applied to design New Jersey's 9/11 memorial, and the people on the committee were all brothers, sisters, wives, fathers of the people that were killed on 9/11. I say killed, they were murdered on 9/11, either in the North or South Tower. But the committee was made up of those people that lost somebody close to them. And they unanimously agreed that Jessica's project fit their needs. And it was just, when you see it, it's just awesome. So she was chosen, and they started to build it. They really hustled to get it dedicated in 2011, I believe it was. But let me tell you some of the things, and it wasn't complete, nearly complete, and everybody thought it was. I mean, I brought fire chiefs from Massachusetts and California, and a couple of deputies from California that flew out and visited, and we went there. They all looked at it, and it was emotionally, for me, it was kind of relief to walk through there and actually be able to touch some of the people. I know we didn't search and rescue anybody, but it was just, I felt confident to me. I'd been there 5 or 6 times, and recently in the last couple of months. So they hustled to get it done in 2011, and it's incomplete. And you would think, after all that time, they would have got, a little further. But now comes 2024, and I listened to Jessica speak down in Atlantic City at the IFF, the PFNJ convention, and she's talking about this is still not finished. And I was just taken back. So once I talked to her, I said, listen, I'm going to do whatever I can to help you. She was doing it through her company, but I thought I'd kind of make it public. And, so Nick's giving me the chance, and I just want to go over the facts of it. It's almost impossible for me to recognize that this has gone on for this long. I mean, there's not a state in the country that gave more help to New York City, to the people that came over by boat. There's not a state in the country that more first responders in New Jersey helped on that day than any place else in the country, believe me. And it took so long for them to recognize that, and it was still not recognized. There's firemen, cops, and EMS personnel dying in New Jersey from 9/11 toxic smoke and everything else that was over there. and their names are going to go where? They're just they should be added to the wall. It doesn't appear like they're going to be. There's 5 or 6 civilians or 7 civilians that are missing off the wall now, and really nothing's been done. But I just want to read you, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. But really, what it looks like now. The names of the victims that weren't put on originally need to be added. Every fireman, police officer, and EMS worker, every first responder in the state of New Jersey that has died, and there's many, believe me, you just don't hear about them because
we just buried another one yesterday. Major Jeffrey Burke of the New Jersey State Police just died in 9/11 cancer.
There's a great video of his service on YouTube. And Nick, maybe you can mention his name again later. I saw it for the first time the other day. Jessica Jamrose sent it to me, and it was everything it's supposed to be, except I said to her, it was a great service, but other than his little family in the state police, his name is not going anywhere. The next day, it should have been inscribed on the New Jersey State 9/11 Memorial, and it's not, and I don't know if it ever will be, but we're going to try. So that's one thing that has to be done. The new names. If you walk up to it, the inside is spectacular. It's just a wonderful, wonderful memorial. All the names are there. At sunset and sunrise, that glow, that circle is there every night and every morning. As long as the sun's out and it's going down, that's, I don't know how the designers of this wall could think of something like that, but and it looks exactly at the space that's empty now, where you would see the 2 twin towers. So, but that's the inside. If you look at the outside, Nick, if you have a couple of pictures of the outside, that is supposed to be stainless steel, shiny stainless steel on both walls. So that's the south. This is the north wall. So anybody coming down the Hudson River or any of the high rises could look over. That's supposed to be stainless steel. And on the stainless steel, if I could go to my, on the stainless steel, it's supposed to say on the north wall, never forget. And on the other wall, it's supposed to say always in our hearts. So that's been going on since 2011. That concrete is just dirty, stained. Every time they cut the grass, it throws who knows what up on the wall. But again, after all these years, how could that happen? How could this be left to New Jersey's monument to 9/11, whether survivors or those who died since? But so the stainless steel has to be added. And I could tell you there's money in the account for this. I've done some deep dives and I've got information from a lot of different people. The money's in the account. It's just not being spent for whatever reason. The other thing, being a fireman, they were supposed to integrate a tribute to all the 9/11 responders. Now, for those of you who weren't around on 9/11 or don't remember it, the Coast Guard has told me the greatest flotilla of rescue boats ever was that morning, where boats took thousands and thousands of people off that island because they couldn't go north, they couldn't go south, and they couldn't go east. So they all ran to the waterfront, and anything that had a motor on it took people from New York City and brought them to the shores of Jersey City, Bayonne, Hoboken, and further. But within those tens of thousands of people that came over to New Jersey were almost 4,000. EMS has told me there were nearly 4,000 injured people that EMS in New Jersey and the EMTs and paramedics and doctors triaged, treated, and transported. They had hundreds of ambulances on call at Giant Stadium, and they took them to hospitals all over New Jersey. Again, it's all these first responders who most of them volunteered their services, even if they were paid, it went there off duty and took care of it. And again, I didn't send Nick those pictures, but there were plenty of pictures of injured cops and firemen and civilians being treated, bloodied. There's one captain from New York City who got taken out of the debris by guys from New Jersey, and went into cardiac arrest, and they did CPR on him all the way across the river, kept him going, and got him to the hospital, and he survived. And he came back one day and thanked us, and he said, "Thank God for the guys from Jersey City." So there's all those stories like that, but it wasn't just Jersey City. It was the whole state. So there was supposed to be a tribute to that, put somewhere on one of the knolls to the north of the two walls. Never got done. And I think that's
got started, right?
Yeah.
They never even started it.
No. It was written down, and there was a New Jersey 9/11 Memorial Foundation run by Chairwoman Faith Miller, who wrote regularly to the state, trying to get them to complete this and have this tribute. Again, for me as a fireman or any of the cops or EMS, they need to put something there, because that park gets tens of thousands of people from around the world every single year, and it would be nice that I don't think any of us want a pat on the back, but I just think from a historical perspective, I think that there has to be some type of tribute to tell the world what New Jersey did. It just, maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe some people are going to say, oh, he's just looking for recognition. I'm not. I just want the state and everybody that works here in emergency management for the rest of the world to know what we did. So,
I agree.
Nick, you want to put something here? Go ahead, Nick.
No, I agree 100%. I think it's disgusting that it's gone this long, and it is a project that's. It's not like somebody's pushing this agenda or something like that. This is something that our politicians, our representatives, this is something that money's been dedicated to. Ground has been broken. I mean, shit, they dedicated it almost, 10 years ago now? Over 10 years ago now.
Yeah. September
10th, 2011, they dedicated this thing. They pulled the veil and said, oh, look at what we did. We're memorializing those who gave their lives, those who lost their lives and were murdered that day. And what did you do? You literally they forgot about
them. Yeah. And if it wasn't for Ms. Jamrose, it may have stayed like this forever. But you know what? She's not giving up the battle, and I'm hoping to get a lot of people out there that are listening to it, first responders. Nick will give you my email address, my phone number, even. There'll be a couple of email addresses that you can send a letter to. The DEP, the commissioner of DEP, his name is Sean LaTourette. He has ignored everything I've sent to him, and he's ignored most of the emails and phone calls he got from some of the people I mentioned at the beginning of the show. So I don't know what's going on with that, but let me just continue about what other things that need to be fixed that are wrong. Just, there was 65 autumn flowering cherry trees. Now you're going to say, well, what's the big deal with that? But they were there for a reason. Dead. They're all dead, and as of 2019, they're all gone. The best I could tell you is they died of neglect. Didn't know how to be taken care of, and somebody said to me, well, the weather in New Jersey is bad. These are the same trees that are in Washington, D.C., hundreds of them that have lived for years. So, it's just something, again, that Jessica and Frederick Schwartz, her partner in designing this, thought would be, and everybody that have gone there thought at the beginning, wow, that's so nice. You can walk through it. It's very calm. It's very comforting. One of the really big things that's missing is Jessica and Frederick put a lot of time and effort into the lighting. Now the lighting was this just very soft, beautiful blue lighting that actually, this is Jessica's and Frederick Schwartz's idea was these blue lights. Now this is after the lights broke the DEP and Liberty State Park put in they put in these blue canisters to make it look like it was blue, like it was supposed to, but that's not it. And you can't even read half the names the way it is now. But when it was first put in, every name was lit up. Every name was like memorialized, but by the special lighting that they put in, and that's pretty much gone.
Is that this other picture, Chief? This one?
Yeah, no, that's the.
Is that how it's supposed to look?
Yeah. And the lighting around the walkway, but the lighting
I got
around the
this
walkway,
one too.
Yeah, this is the one on the left is how it's supposed to look. Every name had that soft lighting around it. Everybody could see every name. The names just stood out, very well memorialized. The one on the right, or the lights that they put in, the DEP put in, or the park people put in, is blinding. You can't read half of the names. So that's something that has to be corrected. And one of the things that I think a lot of people are afraid of, that this is their fix. They won't go back to the blue lights that were specially made. They were designed specifically for this memorial. So we don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully.
But then of course we got this here.
Yeah. That's they're overgrown. Sure I mean, that's just lack of care. It's a shame. So anyway, other than that, there was some directory Cossacks that you could go up to. If you ever been to the wall, leave that up for a second. If you ever been to the wall at the Vietnam Wall, you could go up and you could look up the name, and it tells you exactly where it is. Well, this Cossack was supposed to say the same thing. For what I understand, they haven't worked in 5 years, and the mechanisms inside of it are so antiquated, but they don't work. So they need to be replaced. Again, just neglected. There's been there was a memorial plaza where those Cossacks were. Some of the stainless steel accessories have been stripped by unknown people. That has to be replaced. And then lastly, there was an educational component that was designed by Ms. Jamraz, and it included multiple languages to help visitors understand the history of New Jersey's, contribution, if you want to put it that way, to 9/11. So they're most of the big issues that need to be fixed, and those stainless steel walls to finish the job, build a tribute, finish the job, put the walls up, put the inscriptions in, put everybody's name on. We're not asking for a lot. And, from what I understand, again, from doing a little bit of a deep dive, there's money in the account. You can go online. Anybody can go online and look it up. There's still money in the account. I think 4.9 million or close to that. And it's just, I don't know why it's not being spent. And some of the other people that are helping me and just don't know why it's not being spent. So it's kind of a wait and see, but I think we need to put pressure on Trenton and any of the elected officials, except for the ones I mentioned who are trying hard, but any other elected officials that you have in your county or in your community, they need to start reaching out and find out what happened. What happened to New Jersey's 9/11 memorial that's seen by hundreds of thousands of people. That park is like the number 2 attraction, I think, in the country, if not in the world. I mean, it's the Statue of Liberty. So they're going to go see this tribute if it's ever built. So that's pretty much, about what needs to be fixed and letting everybody know that what disarray it's in. Just a little bit more about Jessica Jamraz and Frederick. Frederick, he passed away in April 28th of 2014. So he'll never get to see or never did see the finished product, so to speak. So, that's horrible. But again, it was a unanimous choice. There's 746 names of Jersey City civilians that died on it now, which is great. But
New Jersey.
New Jersey residents that are on there. There has to be more added. The firefighters, the EMTs, the police, state police, local police have to be added to it. Now, just a little bit about the wall, just to show you how much went into this from Ms. Jamraz and Mr. Schwartz, how much thinking went into this. The memorial includes twin walls that that transect a gentle slope mound, and they're anchored by a granite path that you walk through. And you're looking exactly at ground zero, and of course you don't see anything. It's empty. Hence the name Empty Sky. The two 30-foot high rectangular towers stretch 280 feet 10 inches long. They're the exact width of the World Trade Center towers. The proportion of the walls, a symbolic representation of the building as they were laying on their sides. So I mean, that alone, I mean, the two people that designed this are just incredible. I mean, and it's why they're known worldwide for their work. And to have the two of them and Jessica now not fulfill what with all the 9/11 people who died families envisioned is just a shame. And I'm hoping that this is the start of something. If they could build a little response and let the politicians in Trenton know that it's we're going to get serious about this. And here's the other thing: the 25th anniversary is coming up. You have the 24th coming up, the year of the 25th. I'm looking, and Ms. Jamraz is looking to have this completed for that anniversary. They've had some memorial services there. They had one this past year where they had some pretty prominent people there to speak. I got invited to it, but I had some other issues back here where I live, so I couldn't make it. But I probably would have got a lot of people ticked off at me, because if they got me anywhere near a microphone, I don't think I would have shouted to the skies. When are we going to finish this thing? This thing is incomplete. I would tell people, go around and look at the walls, but unfortunately I couldn't make it, it's just that's pretty much my whole story. I want people aware of the fact that this is not completed, and it's a shame, because again, New Jersey, no one else did more, during that period of time, to help, the citizens of New York City, the fire department, the EMS, everybody. I mean, it was just, when you talk about 4,000 injured people coming across the water, and the Coast Guard, in one of the articles it said there was over 10,000 people, largest rescue flotilla that they knew about. I mean, that's just incredible. And I know that, and now Nick knows it, and anybody that's watching the show knows it. But you know what? Apparently, a lot of the people in Trenton forgot about that. And like I always say, never forget means never forget.
Yeah.
So that's Nick. Thank you for letting me ramble on a little bit, but I wanted to get that all out. It's just So
Chief, I think it's despicable. It's horrible. I mean, I don't even know who to blame. Like, who do you blame? Is it the politicians? Yeah. Is it appointed people? Is it employees of the park that are saying, "Oh yeah, everything's great," up the chain? Or there's so many layers involved in this that it's almost comical, sadly, that every once in a while on this show, being on New Jersey NJ Fire Guys, we talk about the corruption in New Jersey. And this is one of those things where does it even start? Like, how do you even start to write this? How do you start to write this ship? Attacking the problem. Because think about it. If you were a child of one of those lost, one of those names on that wall, one of those lives lost that day, you can't even go and celebrate that life. You can't even go and memorialize that life. I mean, obviously you have the person in your heart and your mind forever, but that, you go to show the respect and pay the respect there, and you find this dead trees, overgrown kiosk, grass, and whatever this is in in light fixtures. I mean, what is that? That looks like looks like fungus inside that light.
Yeah, it's just it's a shame. I don't know how it could get to that. I don't know how there wasn't somebody that realized, hey, and then I know somebody said to me, well, you remember Sandy's the hurricane that went through here, and yeah, and it did short out some of the lights, and but it didn't make the stainless steel that's supposed to be on this wall fall off. It was never put on, and
Yeah.
and I don't understand. They had in writing. They had all the plans that Miss Jamraz and her partner had. So they knew that the lighting that got shorted out. They knew how it had to be fixed. So it was the same lighting that they use all the time. The one that really showed the names, but I don't know this for a fact, but it just, to me, it looks like somebody went down to Home Depot and got a white bulb and screwed it in. So I don't know, but they should have followed. They should have stayed with the plan, and it really, I don't really think it's about money, because at the beginning it was the state of New Jersey, the Port Authority, and in a building organization. I just forgot the name, but those three entities got together, and the money was there. Now, afterwards, even the current governor, Murphy, every year for 3 years, he added money, to fix some of the things that were wrong, and it sits in an account, but it was never spent. It's sitting there, and it's just, I just, I was showed how to look at the bid every day. You could go look at the bids going out from New Jersey, and I had somebody not from the DEP, but some other appointed somebody appointed by the governor say to me, "Oh, keep an eye out. The bids are going out to have the stainless steel put on the walls very shortly." And that was 8-9 months ago. But you could go and look. I looked. There's nothing. The only thing I saw was the DEP spent I think about $3 million to replace some windows in the train terminal. But there was nothing spent. It's still sitting there. And I know Governor Murphy has put money in there, and I don't know the reason why it hasn't been spent, why it hasn't been released. And hopefully we'll get the answers. I don't know where, but now that we have some of the politicians involved. Again, the lead on here with Brian Stack is really going all out, and I just hope that gets something rolling with the politicians, and this gets something rolling with all the first responders. I mean, I can use any.
I hope so.
Yeah, I need some kind of write-in, or Nickel put some information at the end of the email.
Yeah, it'll be in the show notes. I'll put some information up.
Yeah, and then if you just get a quick email off and just ask them, when is the New Jersey 9/11 memorial going to be complete? When are we going to add the names of the first responders that are dying? It just, I see a fire department in southern New Jersey honored one of their firemen or one of the police officers. I see that all over the state, but nobody knows the totality of it. Nobody knows how many. I've tried to contact the Division of Fire Safety to no avail. There should be and it should be that the 9/11 memorials have the names of all the first responders that have died since then. That's a line of duty death. Jersey City's had 4 or 5 that I can think of right off the top of my head, and there's not even something in the city, as a memorial to them. But I just think the state, it's just gone on long enough. I don't know, what the answers are, but I know I'm going to keep writing. I'm going to go to meetings. I'm looking to see if I could speak when the Senate's in session. Anything at all. I'm just going to continue. I'm not going to give up, and hopefully I draw a crowd here. And my real hope is I'd like to get about 500 fire trucks into Liberty State Park without a permit, by the way, because even if a fire truck needs a permit to go in there. Hey, I would like to get a whole mess of fire trucks down there and get the DEP commissioner to come speak with us. But that's not going to happen. But it's just kind of a little thought that I would like to see happen. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
Have a rally, a sit-in, an old school 1960s sit-in, chain ourselves to the wall.
Yeah. So that's it's not Nick's typical show, but I am just so pleased, and I'll always remember the fact that he gave me this opportunity. And if there's any other programs out there, I would definitely, however I could. I have the names of. I was given some names of some newspaper people. I'm going to meet with them or speak with them very shortly. I'm hoping to get it into the press. Get somebody. I'd like to have a couple of people from the press go to Trenton and say, "Hey, what happened?
Yeah, what's going on here?"
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. I know there's no way of knowing if anybody commented or if anybody.
I haven't seen. I haven't had any comments come in yet. So
yeah. Well, like I said to Nick earlier, Notre Dame's playing Penn State, but this will be on YouTube for months to come. So
it'll be on YouTube forever.
Yeah. So I even said to my wife real quick. I said we got to. I was going to say tape it, but that shows how old I am if you say tape a show. record a show. But
let me get a floppy disk.
Yeah. So I mean, that's if you have anything else, Nick, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to.
No,
I rambled on, but
no, I love it. I mean, I hate that there's a need for a show like this, but what better way to announce NJ Fire Guys than to if we're not here, if we're not New Jersey, then what are we? And I think it's, as I said, I think it's disgusting. I think it's despicable and just flat out disgraceful and a slap in the face to the not just the memories and the honor of those lost, but to their families. I think it's horrible, and it's though sadly, I forget whose famous words it are. I've been hearing them all my life, but those who forget history are doomed to repeat it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully we never go through something like that day again, but it's horrible.
Yeah, who knows? But
I hope we can shed some light on this. And
there's got to be some lesson learned, because when I left the fire service, I got to hear about another 9/11 memorial that Miss Jamrose designed, and it was in Westchester County. And I was speaking at the New York State Chiefs Conference, and I had mentioned this to a group of guys, and one of them came up to me and he said, "Listen, I have a ton of pictures," and he showed me the one from Westchester. It's been there for years, and it is beautiful. It is so well taken care of. A much different idea. Jessica designed something different for them, but it is just, if you were there that day, or if you were anywhere that day, if you were a first responder, believe me, you were doing something to contribute to helping with that disaster. So to see the pictures he was showing me from Westchester counties, it is just beautiful and impeccable. It was just and it's been like that from day one. And, I'm thinking to myself, wow, and then as I continue to travel around, I was up in Massachusetts not too long ago. Same thing. They had a beautiful, I don't know who designed it, but another monument to that day and to what happened. So again, I see them, and they're all taken care of, and it brings tears to my eyes to think that the state of New Jersey, again, nobody did more than our first responders. Nobody.
Well,
think,
not
you know,
even
the-
not even just that, what the state lost that day and what the state did that day, but our memorial is looking right at it, right
Yeah.
at the empty sky left that day. It's how much, I don't even know the words. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I would tell anybody, if you haven't been there, go there. Go there now. Go there this weekend, next week, and walk through. When you walk through, it gives you just an incredible feeling. It just I don't know how to explain it. But even if you weren't there that day, if you weren't born that, just to walk through and see the 700 some odd names, and when the lighting was perfect. And when the sun comes up and it goes down, to see that halo, it's just incredible. But now that when you finally walk through that, take a slow walk and touch the names. When you walk through that and you make a left or a right, look at the walls. Ask somebody from the state that's down there. Hey, where can I look up a name? How do I look up the name? Where do I know where it is? And of course,
go to the kiosk.
This hasn't worked in years and years, and it's really outdated. So, I would say go. I've been there twice recently. Especially after I talked to Jessica, I went up right after I talked to her before I got on the plane, and I was just, I'm one of the people that didn't notice. And then I walked around and said, "Oh my God, look at this! It's a mess. It's a mess, an absolute mess." You can see where some graffiti was scrubbed off it, and then they found out there was stuff stolen from one of the site, another part of the site, the stainless steel. And I went home, and I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to start calling people. I mean, I have to at least not calling, but sending emails.
Yeah.
And then I really got ticked off because nobody did anything. Maybe I should go over the list of people I called in the state, senators, congressmen, people in New Jersey, in Jersey City, that just said, "Oh, thanks for letting me know," and I never heard from them again. So, it's just, but Jessica's working with her people through other ways, dealing with the higher ups in Trenton, and I think I can't overemphasize this. She's been fighting for us. We need to get behind her now, and just rally ourselves and get the politicians in Trenton to say, "Hey, we have to write this now."
Yeah.
So
100%.
We'll see. We'll see how awake we become. But I'm certainly going to continue to do whatever I can, and hopefully, because I have some really good friends from Jersey City that I'd like to see their names. They were true heroes.
Yeah.
Marky Lee and Timmy Carney, Charlie Smith, who was over there. He made it over there, made it through both collapses. And Charlie was a Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart, and he died. He had a couple different kinds of cancer, and he died several years ago. But I'd like to see them remembered by everybody that comes to Jersey City, and goes to that park. So anyway, I just don't know what else to say, Nick. So again, thanks again.
I mean, you've said more than enough. Hopefully, we've said enough to make an impact. And
yeah, and if anybody wants to,
we can send this episode by email to every congressman, senator, assemblyman.
Yeah, listen, if anybody, we don't have a sign or anything, but if you want to contact me, I'll give you my email real quick. It's rescueboss@hotmail.com, but it's spelled RES as in Sam, Q, RESQBOSS@hotmail.com. Rescue
And I'll
Boss.
put it up. I will.
Yeah.
I'll put it up in the show notes.
Yeah, you just want to chat or just want to jump on board. I'll give you things to do, people to call, people to email. text, whatever we could do. So, all right, Nick.
Absolutely, Chief.
Can't thank you enough. Can't thank you enough. Really.
No, thank you for coming on and taking the time. I always am humbled that you even remember who I am. You're up here, and I'm just
Don't forget to call Pete.
just a
You're gonna
lowly
go
guy. I
You're
am
gonna
going.
rescue one in Jersey City. Give Pete a call.
I need to. All right, Chief. We'll say our goodbyes off air.
All right.
All right. All right, everybody. That wraps up a very hopefully impactful, thought-provoking run number 1 for this year. Empty skies, empty promises. Please, I'm going to put some contact information up on the show notes. Please reach out to local politicians, local assemblymen, senators, congressmen, all of whom have been tagged in tonight's episode. Local media, local media loves getting involved in, 7 on Our Side and all those other things where they reach out and chase after deadbeat landlords and stuff like that, and shoddy businessmen. Well, let's get them involved and let's start rallying the troops. And our people here in the great state of New Jersey stood up once and fought some of the most impactful turning point battles of the Revolutionary War, and that was just over tea. I mean, let's rally the troops and let's fight to right this wrong and to right the sinking ship. Everybody, have a great week. We will see you next week. Until then, stay safe and stay New Jersey.